Good morning and welcome back. So, we're switching things up today because we want to take a moment to look back on some of our difference makers of the year. So, every other month, we here at Fox 16 and KRK, we feature a difference maker, a nonprofit, and we give them the Difference Maker Award. This is in partnership with Rainwater Holt and Sexton. And the law firm, they actually donate $1,000 to this nonprofit. And so we are very excited to be able to partner with Rainwater Holt and Sexton for this. The organizations that are selected, they are organizations that are nonprofits, and they help us declare our victory, our goal of declaring victory over violence across Central Arkansas. And so we want to start off with the first recipient this year in 2025, and that is the Pulaski County Sheriff Prevention and Reentry Foundation. This program has helped a lot of inmates when they get out of jail and they are looking to make a difference in their life and to turn their life around. They don't want to go back into jail and end up in prison. And so this program has helped a lot of people get back on the right path. And I actually had the honor and privilege of speaking with a woman who says that she was at rock bottom and that this program saved her life. So take a look at her story here. When Mercedes Anthony looks at her younger self, she never could have imagined she'd be here at Natural State Recovery Centers as a peer support specialist, meeting one-on-one with clients who are walking the same path she once took.
I was super manipulative. I was a criminal, but most of all, I was a drug addict. That was what drove the manipulation and drove the criminal activity. Like, every crime I committed was a drug crime.
Mercedes says she started dabbling in drugs in high school. It spiraled to her using meth and Xanax.
I was using drugs to exist, if that makes sense, to make me awake, to make me asleep, to make me social, to make me isolated.
In February of 2019, she found herself in the Pulaski County Jail, facing charges for drug trafficking. She was also 15 weeks pregnant.
Having my baby in there was the most devastating experience of my life. I remember thinking at that point, I don't ever want to do this again.
Mercedes spent 18 and a half months in jail before bonding out. And that's where the Pulaski County Regional Detention Facility's CSI Academy comes in. It focuses on recovery and reentry, and the Pulaski County Prevention and Reentry Foundation helps fund its mission.
My life is where it's at today because they stepped up and they decided to help people that society does not even want in the community.
Mercedes is now drug-free, holding down a job, and most importantly, she's able to be in her children's lives.
I see my kids today, and they know that I'm their biological mother. It's a really healthy situation.
A situation that was unimaginable just 6 short years ago. In North Little Rock, I'm Ashley King. And that was our first recipient of the year for the Difference Makers Award. So the next organization that we featured was the Domestic Violence Prevention, the White County Domestic Violence Prevention. This is in White County, and it's an organization that helps domestic violence victims become survivors. It helps them get back on their feet. And they have a lot of services that they offer, but they also have a store in the community that people can shop at, and the proceeds from that store goes back to the center there. And so we were able to go to White County and see some of the great work that they're doing. So take a look at this. At first glance, this looks like a normal store, but it's a store with a purpose. Just ask Jacqueline Kamer.
They even helped furnish that home because I had nothing at that point.
Jacqueline is a domestic violence survivor. She tells us a former partner injured her to the point that she ended up in the hospital, and that was her breaking point.
I didn't really have anywhere to go that I felt safe at.
That's when Jacqueline found the White County Domestic Violence Prevention. The nonprofit helps victims of domestic violence get back on their feet through its shelter called Hope Cottage in Searcy.
They took me in and were able to house me and my son, who was 8 months old at the time.
The organization is able to run part of its program thanks to profits from its Hope Restored resale store.
Everything about us is hope, and we like to take people from false hope to real hope.
Some victims, like Jacqueline, leave dangerous situations with nothing. They're able to shop at Hope Restored and live at Hope Cottage for as long as needed. The goal is to get them back on their feet and in safe, permanent housing.
And when you hear about a victim who has become a survivor and who is thriving and who is out there and who is in the driver's seat of their own life, we live for that.
The White County Domestic Violence Prevention also has an outreach center. Through all of its programs, it serves 800 to 1,200 people every year.
I don't know that I would have been able to heal and to process what I had been through, or even be strong enough to step out on my own again without the help of Hope Restored.
In White County, I'm Ashley King. Now, that was the White County Domestic Violence Prevention Center that is helping out so many domestic violence survivors there in White County. And next up for our Difference Maker recipients of this year, 2025, we had Sunshine Therapeutic Riding Center. Now, this was a really cool organization. They use horseback riding for therapy. And it's pretty amazing. It's located in Garland County, and it all started with a woman who had this dream. She started it in her backyard, and it has turned into this amazing nonprofit. 4-year-old Jet is learning how to mount a horse. And while this looks like a typical horseback riding lesson, it's much more than that.
And the child can, in fact, offer the horse support and reassurance, and they learn how to breathe with the horse and relax with the horse.
He's participating in what's called hippotherapy. It's a type of occupational therapy that utilizes the movement of a horse as a treatment strategy.
So we, in our minds, use the horse as a piece of equipment, but in fact it's alive and has a personality, and that's, I think, where the significant change happens with the child.
This is just one program offered at Sunshine Therapeutic Riding Center near Hot Springs. Katya and Zach Summerlin started the program as a desire to help their son who has Down syndrome.
I grew up next to a therapeutic riding center back in the 80s in Switzerland, and that just kind of inspired this.
The program started in 2021 with just 8 participants. They have since served more than 700 kids and adults. Katya remains inspired when she thinks about success stories, like one young writer who could only speak about 5 words before coming to this riding center.
She was in the riding arena where the surface is softer. It produces a different movement that travels through the body. And so when we took the horse out of the arena, she started to speak. It was like somebody turned on the water, like a tap of water, and it started to flow out.
Katya hopes to continue changing people's lives through horseback riding for years to come. In Garland County, I'm Ashley King. Now, that was the Sunshine Therapeutic Riding Center there in Garland County. Pretty cool work that they are doing. Next up for our Difference Maker recipient, we had the Extra Miles Foundation. They were awarded this in October. And this nonprofit actually started in 2020. It's a guy, his last name is Miles, and he is the founder. And his goal really is just to help kids in his community. He says he wants to do things that he did not have as a child. And so he has a very cool story. We were able to go out there. He has some big plans as well. And so we were able to go out there and see some of his plans and what he plans to do with the area, and take a look now at his story.
This is going to be the beginning of the plaza.
Joseph Miles can't help but get excited when he looks at this plot of land in Kensett, just off Wilbur D. Mills Avenue. Right now, it doesn't seem like much, but Joseph has big plans for it.
We have a home base to do more programs and partake in helping the community out in a better way.
Joseph is the founder and president of the Extra Miles Foundation. It's a nonprofit he officially started in 2020. The goal? To uplift underserved communities by providing things like back-to-school bashes with free haircuts and providing resources for those in need.
We connect people when they get out of jail to rehabs, any type of mental help they might need, resources they need with jobs.
Joseph is also a barber and a bail bondsman. He says his jobs help him recognize the power of providing people with second chances.
When I wake up in the morning, I want to be a better version of me. So every day I want to help somebody.
And Joseph feels this space of land will help him achieve that goal. In Kensett, I'm Ashley King. Really looking forward to seeing what Joseph does there with that land in Kensett and all the kids that he can help. So our final difference maker of 2025, this story just aired recently here on KARK and Fox 16. And this one is for the Children's Advocacy Center of Southeast Arkansas. They are based in Pine Bluff. And what really struck me as interesting when we did this story is just the number of kids that they actually serve. So they serve children who have been abused and have been neglected, and their big goal is to make sure that these children, they provide them resources so that they don't carry their trauma and their abuse into adulthood. And so it was amazing to learn more about this organization, so take a look now at this. Hazel Maxey is picking out toys at the annual Santa's Holiday Gift Drive.
With toys, we could bring a little bit more cheer to a family, especially the children.
These toys may seem like a small gesture, but they're actually a big deal for the children Hazel's organization serves.
We're able to reach more children, help children, and bring more cheer to the children that we serve. So we are very grateful.
Hazel is the executive director of the Children's Advocacy Center of Southeast Arkansas in Pine Bluff. For the past 3 decades, the center has served thousands of children who are victims of sexual and physical abuse.
We do forensic interviews, sexual assault exams, therapy, and advocacy services so that we can help children in their healing process.
In 2024, they saw at least 700 children, and Hazel believes the numbers will be even higher by the end of this year.
Children should have the right to be heard and believed and supported because children shouldn't be hurt because of child maltreatment.
The team's ultimate goal is to help children heal so they don't carry their trauma into adulthood. In Little Rock, I'm Ashley King. And that was the Children's Advocacy Center of Southeast Arkansas, based in Pine Bluff. So those were all of our difference makers for the year 2025. I hope you enjoyed taking a little trip down memory lane with us. We are so excited that Ringwater Holton Sexton is partnering with us again in 2026, and we will be able to award more nonprofits with the Difference Makers Award and that $1,000 donation. So I hope you stay tuned to see who will be the lucky winners of that award for 2026. Have a great day.